All right, let's see if I still got this. What do I think about this one? Well, I finished it. I kind of enjoyed it. It was really fun. Story wise, the characters are funny. It got repetitive. Like you go to the cutscenes, and when they start talking, they do repeat the same thing to make the same point for an hour, and you're like, man, this. Some of the cutscenes, maybe if it had an English track, because when you get to the end, finish it, play the 12 hours. When you get to the end, that's my. I'm starting with the negative. When you get to the end, you're kind of fed up of all of them talking, and you just want to get to the boss fight. And boss fights are amazing, really challenging, awesome gameplay. Completely different from. It's not a Dynasty Warrior. It's not a whatever you want to call it. It's not a Devil May Cry. It's a hack and slash, but in its own way. You can team up two characters in your team. Make sure you're very upgraded to go against boss battles. It's whatever level they say before you start the level. Trying to be at that level. I'm only saying. There's a bunch of stuff to do. I love those. I didn't show it off in the gameplay. There's trying to stay balanced mission, and when you complete them, you get an extra power up, attack, heart attack, kind of like Monster Hunter. Before you go into the fight, you eat at the pub and you eat stuff and you get boosted up. But this one has a challenge, the balance, whatever you want to call it. You balance on a ball, and if you do succeed, I suggest trying the hard one. It's really hard, and you're holding your controller with the motion sensors, and it's quite epic. But then you got a bunch of side missions, a lot of side missions. But I want to point out, we're still talking about the negative. I want to point out the enemies throughout the map are kind of dull and boring. Like the regular enemies, you got a giant cat in a bubble, and eventually you get those skeleton samurais. You're like, man, they're gonna hit back. They don't hit back much, and you got all those cyborgs shooting you from a distance. You gotta kill those first. Then you got those watermelon monsters shooting you seeds. They don't hit much, but when they do hit, they do a lot of damage. But I'd like to have maybe tougher enemies, I guess, throughout the map, and more maps also. But I still loved it. I still love it. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm thinking about it. Is it good for you guys? You like a good hack and slash with a good story? The story got really good when they started making actual fun of their funny looking bodies. And I'd say they have those. There's a part of the game that gets really funny. There's two giant robots you're fighting, and they're like, bro. They have this bromance, and they collect funny magazines. Am I allowed to say hentai on my channel? But anyways, that part of the story was just so hilarious, and those guys were funny, and it just spiced up the bit of the story. So basically, these two ninja clan are at war and want to kill each other, but then this giant robot comes from whatever clan, robot, whatever you call it. They're fighting off to get the crystals that controls the people, kind of souls and stuff. It's a nice little story. But yeah, so these guys group up eventually, and they fight off the ninja, which you fight. They try to revive the spirit maiden energy. You're like, man, am I playing Fatal Frame or something? Anyways, eventually you fight the final boss battle. Is really good. I'm gonna sell out. I'm gonna go for a big buy on this game because all the boss battles are quite unique. You feel overpowered, but that last boss battle, man, you gotta be ready. You gotta save. You make sure you bring a lot of energy, HP, whatever revive you want. That's the other thing I kind of liked. You can buy all the HP you want, all the revives you want, but it's challenging because whenever you start a level, they limit your amount of revive and HP cure stuff. You're limited. If I buy 99 revival, I'm only going to carry one throughout each map. So your stock is 99, but it's kind of tricky and it's very challenging. Plus, that's the thing that the gameplay surpasses Dynasty Warrior and all those. Because you're holding the R trigger, I think, and you have 4 different moves that you can combine. Then your stamina drops down, then you gotta do... The gameplay is just so quite unique. And then the R trigger, then you can switch your character into earth, wind, fire, water, and you do more damage. The trick I use for the final boss is I use my character and I use the green, the earth power, whatever, and I had somewhat of energy boost and energy HP came back in. But that's the other thing too. That's very fun, very original. You unlock, I think, 10 characters throughout the story. The gameplay is very unique to your own self. However you're going to play, all these characters, you got to select 2. And I chose Hamura, I think, and Whiteheart, something like that. Those 2 characters, I like their play style. They were my favorite. The one had like 6... She's not on the cover. She had like between each fingers, she had katana blades, 6 of them. And I like the rapid attack on her was just quite unique. And then we could go further in, go in the menu, and you have those magic balls. You have to put the upgrade tree on your character. You can do the automatic one. That's what I did. One character, I upgraded attack powers so she did more damage. The other character, all the balls I use, the healing type, like more energy, more stamina, and everything else. So when I got to the end of the final boss, where I switched all the energy balls or upgrade tree, whatever you want to call it, all HP, stamina upgrades on both characters, and it was quite unique. There's a lot of uniqueness to this game. That's why I gotta say must buy, must own, because of the fighting style, the upgrades, really choosing your characters to finish the game. It's 12 hours main quest. There's a bunch of side missions. The side missions are actually really, really fun. Really fun. Very challenging. Very good ones. Like, really, really fun. They should have more side missions. But 12 hours in, I'm done. I loved it. But like I said the negative at the beginning. At the end of the story, you're like, man, yeah, maybe next time, whoever made this, make an English track for the characters. To me, Japanese is fine, but I can't understand it. You get the emotions where they're talking, though. The voice actors of the Japanese characters are really good, but I wish it'd be more entertaining to have an English track. I imagine people over there just having a blast with it, but the characters are funny, though. And you get attached to them and everything, but by the end, it gets kind of long. I'm just saying. It's got to be must buy, must own. So go and try it. I don't know if there's a demo, whatever, but I don't think so. No demo. What am I saying? It's really fun. If you're looking for a good hack and slash, you're going to have a blast. See you soon.